Right, so basically in the past 2 months, I've probably don't know if I can describe it as the worst time of my life because I've had a lot of shit times, but I've personally struggled with a lot of stuff um, since being a teenager. So I've had some really shocking times where I've not been able to handle myself or been able to handle situations that are negative or sad or whatever. But as I've got older now, so 22, I've slightly progressed being able to handle things a little bit better and a little bit more calmly. Um, but then, obviously, that can only you can only try and do that to the best of your extent, and then if something like really bad happens, I tend to struggle with controlling my own thoughts or controlling how I um how I handle myself and handle my head and try and make sure that I don't lose my head like I've done in the past. Um, it's definitely harder than I expected to make a video of like expressing what's been going on with me. But yeah, basically, I've in the past few weeks been struggling more so than usual because I've had a really shit thing happen, and it obviously happens to everybody. Well, most people at least once during a lifetime. But so uh, I've ended up having me and my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, have broken up now, which is obviously really sad. Um, as we've been going out a while, and I love him loads, and I've never loved anybody, um, never loved anybody really before. So I thought I had when I was younger, but I hadn't. So this has been the hardest thing because obviously when you lose somebody that you love and you still love them, and you spend all your time with them for the past 2.5 years, like I have in my, well, not all the time, but obviously I had a really close relationship and very like intense in the respect of like we both like fell in love with each other really quickly and really intensely, and it was really, really, really like special and great for a while, which I'm sure everybody experiences at least once, maybe. So obviously, when that comes to an end, and when you didn't want it to come to an end, and just plug my charger in. Yeah, when shit like that happens, in my opinion, cause I've had a few experiences with grief. But it's basically like somebody's died, like when somebody gets taken out of your life or goes out of your life for no, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's obviously fucked. It's awful, and it's just sad for me because I almost worry that I'll never fall or never just find anybody I've been as compatible with, or that I enjoy somebody's company as much as I would enjoy his, or get on as well, make each other laugh, that type of thing. Um, and I think what one of the hardest things anyway for me is that I've never felt comfortable ever with somebody else properly ever, and my ex-boyfriend is the first person I've ever felt comfortable and happy, completely happy in myself with. And unfortunately, as time's gone on, things have just deteriorated. As I know, obviously, most relationships, especially when you're young, most relationships are very difficult to keep great and keep positive and that type of thing. But like, it's kind of really digressed really terribly probably over the past like 9 months, maybe even longer, where things have just got really shitty. And I'm not really sure, I can't really put my finger on why. I think there's been a lot of things. Obviously then, it's just really, really difficult to try and compute how, if you've lived your life completely for the past 2.5 years with somebody as like a duo almost, and all your future plans that you've been thinking about and planning have been planned with that person, and everything, every sort of detail in how you live your life and how you think and how you navigate yourself changes overnight, and everything's very, very different to handle and try and not lose my head about it, because obviously it's fucking sad. It's really sad. It's probably maybe the saddest I've ever been, but like in a different way. And I'm gonna do a few of these vlog accounts where I describe things that have happened to me in the past, so I can sort of build a catalogue of experiences that I've personally gone through and struggled with. And yeah, just a way of expressing my emotions in a different way, which will be interesting to interpret. But yeah, so I feel like this is, as an older person who's maybe a bit more aware and wiser, this is definitely the worst I've ever felt. And I don't really know how things are going to go forward at the moment, because it's very confusing. And in a way, I feel like a lot of things have come to an end and almost can't really go back to, as much as I'd really, really want them to, like really would want them to, probably more than anything ever right now. I think at the end of the day, maybe that this is the end of that road or chapter or whatever. It sounds a bit cringy, but I'd do anything in my power to try and work things out. But I think, unfortunately, I'm not so sure that can happen this time. And I think because it's been over now, and it's over now as we speak, as I speak. And it has been for 2 months, and then recently, well, literally a few days ago, and I saw him for the first time and ended up sleeping together, and that was all. And then he stayed over, and everything was absolutely great. Felt really normal. Felt probably the most content and calm and settled I felt in those 2 months. Maybe in quite a long time, actually. But I think that because we haven't seen each other for a while, well, for 2 months, and obviously things, you missed people, and I think in both of our heads maybe it wasn't fully finished. and then he almost said that he'd like to sort of give things another go, but I think in my mind, as much as I really want to do that, like so much, I can't even describe to you how much, like more than anything. I think that I've almost got it into my head over the past 2 months that things have come to an end, and then obviously seeing him and sleeping with him and having that, like, spending that time together, which is probably all I've been wanting to do for the past 2 months, has been really fucking confusing for me, because it's almost like reminded me that we can be great together, but at the end of the day, it's not the same at the moment because there's so much that needs to be said. It's just making me feel really anxious and agitated and nervous, and I'm pretty terrified because I think that whatever happens, I will have to deal with either trying to build up a relationship, which I think's been really badly damaged, and that will be really difficult, and that will take a lot of effort, and it just putting myself on a platform where I can get fucked again, like badly fucked up in the head, and I don't want to do that. I also don't want to lose him. And then there's the other option of completely leaving it and just coming to terms with it being over. But then that'll be it then. And I don't think that actual feeling of it being properly over and done with has occurred yet. So I think when I've got to deal with that, if that does come, and that's the way things go, I think that'll be a whole new different thing to have to deal with, which will be probably a lot more difficult than anything's been so far. Scary.